morning. Today I am going to be taking you all on a little garden tour. It's been a couple weeks since I've done just a garden tour video. And it's Friday, last day of the work week, although I may go do some work tomorrow too. Anyway, enough blabbing, let's talk. Nothing's going on with my cowhorn peppers, but the toothache plant looks great. King of the North peppers are starting to germinate in there, looking good. The Roma tomatoes in the winter sown method are doing great, but they look like they probably need some pruning. That's okay. No calendula. I maybe need to winter sow them earlier. The oregano out here is growing. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this oregano. The lavender looks great. I might plant that out this weekend too. Then there's more lavender in there. Which one's this? Sugar Peach Rush. Nothing in there yet. Yeah, the snowball cauliflower needs to go. Bentley's flowers, they could go home with him. The strawberry plant is making a comeback. It needs pruned off again, obviously, and I'll take some scissors and clean that up later. I'm going to have to water tonight. We've been having a drought. And Miss Indiana Backyard Gardener is pretty close to me, and she seems to be stealing all the rain. Anyway, the chamomile's going good. You see this rose bush right here? That's why I hate these rose bushes. Every disease and every pest that comes its way, it will get. But aren't the blooms beautiful though? So just don't look at the leaves. Maybe these leaves. Yeah, those are okay to look at. There's some rose hips. I'm not sure which plant this is back here, but it looks like it's starting to flower. There's a little hosta poking up back there. These peonies are going away, and they will. Oh, look, a little ladybug. Welcome, friend. Yeah, look at that chamomile. And that one's going good. This rose bush ain't doing much. These peonies were beautiful. You could tell they were beautiful. And they're going away. But aren't they gorgeous while they're here? The irises are done. These little here flowers that are sure pretty, or they might stick around for a while. They typically don't like the heat either. I don't know if I still have any more chamomile planted around here. It looks like I'm going to have to take some trees out. Some of these redbud trees that are starting to plant their way. But look at the redbud tree. I'm hoping to save some seeds from this tree in case anybody wants some. Doesn't look like the chamomile planted here made it. This one's barely hanging on. And then the chamomile over here, it's just not doing as good as on the other side. This side of the porch gets shadier, and I figured that would be good for longevity of the chamomile and lavender, etc. But I wasn't sure. I've never planted chamomile or lavender before, so I plant on both sides. That's the sunny side where it gets lots of heat and sun all day long midsummer. Underneath this bush, I'm not seeing any chamomile either. Oh, one little chamomile. This bush right here is either a hydrangea or I can't remember. Hyacinths, those little spring flowers that don't last long. I can't remember the other one that I think it is, but it'll come to me later when I don't need the word at the time. Butterfly bushes are in bloom. This variety anyway. Not sure what's coming up here. Not sure what this bush is. Not sure what that is. I'm pretty sure those are just overgrown weeds. Hey, we'll see what kind of flowers they produce. Looks like they're going to flower soon, so maybe it's a pretty weed. That butterfly bush is going on. These are wildflowers. Like I said last year, I sowed wildflower seed and mix from M.I. Gardener, and a couple of them decided to come back this year. So that's cool. And there's some bulbs right here. No lilies yet growing in the pond. Looks like some morning glories back here too. Maybe some more morning glories back yonder. These morning glories are blue though, and they look pretty. That side not as good as this side. And then there's some more wildflowers and a milkweed plant. Not sure what this bush is, and I'm about ready to prune down the branches. I wanted to leave them on in case there was bees still living in there. Not sure what this plant is, but it looks like it's getting ready to flower. I'm going to pull some weeds while I'm out here. And we got some more whatever growing up right here and there, and I'll figure out what plants those are later by asking my wonderful YouTube community. Let's go out in the garden expansion since we're out this way. Oh, look, a spy in the garden. Guess who which spy this one is? That's Melody from Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It Homestead. Psst, look at her. Being all snoopy. Anyway, out here I planted my Martino's Romas, the ones I started indoors. They were pretty leggy, so I made sure to plant them as deep as I could. I've already got the sides of my cucumber trellis amended. There's still a little bit of old edging there from when somebody landscaped all this from years past. I'm going to have to dig up. There's a peony bush out here. This one lasts a lot longer because it gets shadier. Look at these morning glories. Aren't they gorgeous? I hope those are morning glories because that's what I just called them. Correct me if I'm wrong on anything. Here is my wall of indeterminate tomatoes. They're looking beautiful and healthy, and look, they did not have transplant shock at all. They look so, so good. But I'm going to come out here and water this evening because, like I said, we are experiencing a drought. And next week, I was looking at AccuWeather. Wednesday, we may or may not get a thunderstorm. That's how the weather's been up here, though. It's been like, oh, well, there's a 40-50% chance of rain, and then clouds come, no rain. It's so disappointing. And then you got all these southern people with buku buckets of rain, and they're not sharing. It's just not right, y'all. All right, so now we're out in the main garden. My sunflowers are looking good, except for that gap where I have to resow. All of my Kentucky pole beans have come up, except for 2. So I'm going to have to resow 2 plants, get this weeded out. But last week, I went through a weeding frenzy out here. Obviously, I picked my battles with the weeds, left the clovers. My single seed challenge 21 Groninger's Brussels sprout looks good. Looks like stuff's starting to get a little munched on, so I might have to start with the neem and BT here before long. That's okay, I'm prepared. Purslane growing. I got lots of purslane and clover out here. But then see all my brassicas coming up. I knew they were out here. Now, I do not see my cilantro that I got from Gypsy and Vanilla Gorilla. I may have started that out too late. I don't know. Maybe it'll be weird and decide to come up next year. But my red onions, my red beard bunching onions, those look good. And that looks like a purple sprouted broccoli by the purple stem. And then I have beets. Beets. Drop the beet, y'all. Okay. Then that's a volunteer cilantro from last year, and look how big it's gotten. My collard fell over. It broke on the stem. But I have pods, so I am just going to leave it and let it go to seed and try to save those seeds. It's almost ready. But I still have more plants growing up off of it, and it looks like, you know what, I'm going to guess what's munching on these? Slugs. So I might have to set out some beer traps. What is going on over here? What kind of little critters are those? Where'd they go? Now they're going to hide and be all sneaky. More sunflowers. Oh, there's a sunflower hiding right here. That's my rainbow chard. Looking beautiful. I can't resist the pick. I'm going to have to weed some more this weekend. Then my lettuce, I've been picking off my lettuce. It's been trying to bolt, so I've been cutting back the blooms on it. I'm not ready for it to bolt yet. I don't have a secondary setup nor more lettuce seeds at this point. So it just needs to try to hang on until I'm ready to plant more lettuce in a shadier spot. Look how beautiful it is, minus the weeds. I know, when I harvest lettuce, I gotta pick through that too. I've been. My nasturtium out here doesn't look so happy. I got more to transplant out though, and I can also start more from seed, but this nasturtium looks good, so I'm not sure what's going on. My lime basil has not popped up yet. My onions, the ones that last, are getting pretty big. I do not see any okra yet. I didn't soak the seeds this year. I should have. My carrots are looking good. They don't look extremely close together either, which is a good thing. I'm liking that I got them spread out pretty good. But I am going to go ahead and thin them. Ooh, look at that one. When they get a little bit bigger, obviously, because I'm going to ferment with them while they're young. I like the fermented younger carrots. But look at my peas. Peas, please. Look how pretty they are. Yeah, they're going to flower. Those are my Lincoln peas. This spot seems to be getting scorched, but I still have a pea wall. So that's great news. My thyme is flowering. Whoa. And I do not believe my calendula has sprouted yet. I think these are volunteer marigolds from last year that I'm just letting grow. I think along this A-frame trellis, I want to plant out my butternut squash and kind of go up and over the other fence. That's what I'm thinking. My Greek oregano looks great. And I still have nothing planted in my planters. This is one of my weird containers I'm going to use this year. It's got busted bottom, it's got cracked, and so I don't even have to drill drainage holes in it because it's that awesome. Look at me, I'm out here picking. Oh, there's another nasturtium hiding right there. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I'm ready for these peas to start coming on so I can get some harvest. My tulsi, or my holy basil, hasn't sprouted up yet either, so waiting on that. And I also have lemon basil planted out here somewhere. I'm sure I walked right past it. Probably so. Back here we have all these beautiful wildflower looking thingy-majiggies growing back here. The same one that I showed up there that I thought was yarrow. Clearly isn't, but they're still beautiful and have a yarrow kind of like flowering going on. Well, hi kitty. And hostas. And cleavers. And whatever vining plant that is, that's beautiful. And I need to trim back these bushes because they're going to start stabbing me before long. They get little thorns on them as it gets hotter. More hostas. Not sure what that weed is. Did I even show that weed? I get carried away looking around and I forget I'm holding a camera giving a tour. Yeah, not sure what this is either. It's a big clover going to seed. Little lily of the valley, I need to get that picked. The neighbor's got a whole slew of lily of the valley. My bleeding heart struggles. Might be because we're experiencing a drought too. Who knows? Those irises are done. These lily of the valley haven't even bloomed yet, so maybe I'll get some more lily of the valley later. I know Ryan's mom has a slew of lily of the valley for us to pick and transplant if we want to. greenhouse, I have the Bell Carnival blend peppers, which again is different colors of bell peppers. There's white, purple, red, yellow, orange, green, probably more that I'm missing. This is my Vulgare oregano that I started under grow lights. I transplanted out here. I can't give these things away. I'm actually really struggling at the plant sale, like nobody wants to buy them. I'm thinking it's because I don't have myself out there enough. But everything is coming up in here, and I thought this one Acorn Squash from Gypsy and Vanilla Gorilla may be a hit or miss. And I'm glad it's a hit because, well, that's another plant. And so everything looks so good, and I kind of want to plant these out too. And the cherry tomatoes, I definitely want to get those planted out this weekend too. And my Anaheim Peppers, I'm not going to plant all of them. I forgot to show my grocery store updates. These are the Aloha striped bell pepper that I bought from Kroger and planted it from seed. And they're beautiful. They look healthy and good. And I will be topping my peppers. Last year I topped all of my peppers. And so this year I'm going to do half and half. Just to kind of show a side by side, get the experimental thing going, and just show, you know. Before I never topped peppers. Last year I topped all of them. So this year, like I said, I'm going to do half and half. But while we are talking about grocery store challenges, let me show you my blueberries. I guess I forgot to show this stuff on the ground too. That's a Monstro de Viroflay spinach. I haven't even sold a single spinach plant out at my grandma's house. But look, that is one of those California blueberries that I grew from seed. I stuck the whole cup in the freezer and stratified it for 2 weeks, brought it out, and look, a blueberry plant. Yay! Still no Gale zinnias. The asparagus is ready to go. I have a marigold in here. Nasturtiums look sad. I may just go ahead and start more nasturtium seeds. And that's okay, because I got more. This is after work hours. I'm out here extending this garden tour because I got a lot done. I got the rest of my winter sowing nasturtiums planted out. They might look weak. That's alright. They might brighten up and tighten up now that they're planted. I planted out my cucumbers. On this side, I have my Jabai Shimashirazu cucumbers, my Japanese ones, and I heard Japanese cucumbers are just fire, so I sent Ed some, and I got some growing, and I grew them in the cow pots because cucurbits don't like their roots messed with much. I know you can transplant them. I would rather not go down that route. I want my stuff to grow. I had the cow pots. Let's get her planted. Over on this side, I got my Chicago Pickling cucumbers. That one in the middle looks weak. It's because they need watered. And after this video, when the sun goes down more, I'm going to water. I had a Roma tomato that I started inside die and wilt away. So I took one of my winter sowing pelleted seeds from Fairy Morris and planted out here. It looks weak too. Probably just needs watered. Here I got my Anaheim peppers planted. I do not have a label for them. And when I have my Sugar Rush peach or my cowhorn peppers starting, they will grow out here. I got another nasturtium planted here on the T-post here on my tomato wall. Right here is my Carnival blend bell peppers, which will be several different colors of bell peppers going up along here. And out here is my grocery store challenge peppers, which are the Aloha red and yellow orange striped peppers. I bought a bell pepper from the grocery store. I put it in the refrigerator. The refrigerator sucks. It's like whatever, and made it wilty and mushy and whatever. Don't matter, them seeds are still good. And look what came about it. A whole row of them. There's another nasturtium there. And so yeah, there's my Indiana Garden week update. Stopping by and seeing my garden tour for this week. It's the first official week of June here in Zone 5B, South Bend, Indiana, and it's what I got going on. I thank you for stopping by again, and I'll tell you what, I love you and so does Jesus. God bless.